Hi there, Ivo once again, and I wanna welcome everyone back to another video or another movie review. And now, since I reviewed all the three Matrix films in the original trilogy, and today I'm gonna talk and give my take and my review, and that's of course on Animatrix, which this is the short video which is animated Japanese animated science fiction film, and it serves as anthology to the 1999 Matrix, and of course, it's and of course it's it's exploring the nine short movies, which is CG animation and Japanese anime from the world most research anime directors. The Wachowski brothers, they were involved with this film, and this is me the first time seeing this film. I have never seen this animated series. Now the back, it's not really bright, but I do have the Ultimate Matrix box, and like I said, I reviewed the first three movies, which is my favorite. I reviewed this film for Keanu Reeves. My second favorite, and I don't know, the first and this one are actually both my favorite movies, and of course the third one. But those are actually my favorite. Now to the Animatrix, there conclude 9 short stories, and the Flight of the Osiris was actually credits the final film of the 9 stories. But I actually really enjoyed, the 9 stories. I really did enjoy. Sorry, my finger. I really did enjoy, and yeah, it has. Which I just finished it now. This is me the first time watching it, and this is a prequel which comes to the which goes to which is actually the prequel which goes to the Matrix Reloaded, and I'm just gonna read it right here. Welcome to the Animatrix, a visionary fusion of CG animation and Japanese anime from the world's most revered anime directors. Experience the prequel to the Matrix and learn about the last cities of mankind, the war with the machines, and humanity's ultimate downfall. Witness the final flight of the Osiris, which sets the stage for the Matrix Reloaded movie, and enter the Matrix video game. Grasp a more complete understanding of the Matrix available nowhere else. Expand your mind ever further as you unlock a dazzling arsenal of bonus materials. It's time to plug in. So, Animatrix conclude 9 films, short stories, and that's of course the Flight of the Osiris, the second Renaissance Part 1 and 2, Kid Story, Program, World Record Beyond, Detective Story, and Matriculated, and on this Blu-ray, the Flight of the Osiris is actually credited on the final, when it's actually the final film, but it's actually the first one. It's supposed to be the last on this disc, but it's actually the first one. But I'm just gonna go the second Renaissance Part 1 and 2. It talks about the prequel, how the war, how the humankind was in a conflict in the war with the machines, and how the world, how the dystopian future was designed. And it talks about the architect, he designed, the Matrix, but before that, it was actually, the world was nice, but the architect created a robots, but to serve the human, but the humans start treating them like trash and terrible, and they declared the war on the machines because they wanted to destroy all of them. And the second part shows about the United Nations, how they rejected the robots, and the humans start the robots, how they start the war of the robots, and how they created this vision, the Animatrix, how they created the Matrix, this part of simulation, this program, how they designed it. But yeah, it just shows that. Kid story talks about the kid. Kid story talks about the kid and his vision, and that's Clayton Jones, or was Clayton Watson. Wait, I wrote down his name. Clayton Watson. He plays Michael Popper, the kid. From the second movie, the third movie. I know I didn't mention him the second movie, but I didn't mention him the third movie. When he shows up in the second movie and he thanks Neo for saving him, and Neo says, "No, I didn't save you. You saved yourself." So that was Kid. That's actually his story. How he was living in a peaceful life, and he was and he goes to school, and he's like on this hooked up on this computer, and those agents, and he believes that Trinity and Neo are real, and in the school, the agents, he gets a call in the class, and he gets to find out that he actually is going to be he actually is going to be the agents are hunting him down, and he goes and he tries to escape. The agents go in and they go and hunting him down, and yeah, so he climbs out of the class, and he climbs on the roof, but then he jumps, and we find out that the kid is dead, but actually he goes into real world, and he says thank you, thank you, Neo, for saving me. Neo says, no, you saved yourself. And of course, Program, I actually forgot what the story was. Program, I don't remember what the story was in Program. World Record talks about this athlete Dan Davis, who's actually a huge athletic. He's actually a runner, and his final race to run, but he has huge injuries. And by the last when he actually the last racetrack, when he runs, his power leaves him and he falls down. But it turns out that the machines hooked him up, and they want to they make sure he loses the race. But I think he wins the race, but he can't walk anymore. Beyond talks about this girl. This girl, she's looking for her cat Yuki. She finds on this she goes into this construction site, which is forbidden to go there, to find her cat. She finds her cat, and she gets captured by these government agents, and she's like brainwashed or something. And a detective story talks about this detective. He's been hired by a man to find this hacker Trinity. He finds Trinity on the train, but Trinity thinks that he's Mr. Ash, that he's a detective, but she finds out that he's not the right choice. So she shoots him and she escapes, and he gets captured by those agents. And the final story talks about Matriculated, which is about cyborg Alexa, and how she became, her story. And it's a Japanese animated. Now the Flight of Osiris, which I forgot to mention, which is the final, which is definitely my favorite of it, which is in this ship. We find those two characters which I wrote down, Thaddeus and Jew, who are actually having a sword simulation in this room. They're in dojo. They have a sword fight, which I really like the sword fight. And then they woke up when their ship are actually attacked. Their ship is attacked by the Sentinels, and they go out of the simulation. and Jew. They have to warn the Zion that they have to warn the Zion the city is gonna be attacked, and this is actually which brings to the stage to the stage for the Matrix Reloaded, because when Neo he gets a notification that he gets a warning that in 24 hours the Zion's gonna be destroyed, the city Zion's gonna be destroyed, and of course Thaddeus and Jew, they try to warn everyone, and Thaddeus, the process gets killed, but Jew goes back in the Matrix to warn others, but also she gets killed in the ship, and yeah, that was actually the first story. That's the reason why I went to Flight of the Osiris with the first on the last story. Now my favorite, I'll still go the one I just said, Final Flight of the Osiris, with Thaddeus and Jew fight scenes. That's Jew sword fight scenes. That's awesome. That's actually awesome. That's her. The story, the visions, how they did. I really enjoy Animatrix. I mean, I really enjoy. Articulated would be my least favorite because I fall asleep. I mean, it's just the story about the cyborg Alexa, how she turned into cyborg. A detective story definitely will enjoy, because probably my second favorite of the all 9 stories, because we have Trinity Karen Moss voices in this movie. She plays the Trinity once again on this train, and there's a few gunfights. That's another great one. And Beyond, I enjoy Beyond with that girl looking for her cat, and some kids playing on this construction property that they shouldn't be there. What Reckoned is a really good one with the Dan Davis, based on Davis, on the composer, as the music composer Don Davis is in this. He also does the music for Animatrix. And Flight of the Osiris, probably my favorite. Kid story, pretty good one. Clayton Watson as Kid returns from the Matrix Reloaded and the Matrix the Matrix Revolutions. I think this was, I don't know, this was probably the prequel to the Matrix. This was probably the prequel, how the world, how the Matrix became. But yeah, this is how the Matrix was, and this is actually a prequel to the first and the second, third movie. But as now I remember what the program was. The program was about this girl. She's engaged with this guy, and they have a sword fight in it. But it turns out that he wants to go in the Matrix, and she refused to go. And they have a sword fight, and he wants to kill her, but she goes, grabs the sword, breaks the sword, and stabs in the neck. And then she wakes up from the simulation, and it was a test, and she goes and punches the guy. That was in the program. It concludes 9 stories, and honestly, I have never seen this film. And no, I have never seen this film before. This is the first time on Blu-ray, and I really did enjoy this film. It's a really good one. It's really good one. It's part of the Ultimate Matrix collection, which I have all 4 films. And I will give a try with the Resurrection. I want to see the 4th one. My friend hated the film, but this is the part, the Matrix. And like I said, the first Matrix, second, and the third. And these 2 are really my favorite. These 2 are both my favorite in the franchise. I don't know which is my favorite. I saw this one in movie theater. Sorry about the lightning. I saw this movie in the movie theater. Wish I would see this movie in movie theater, but I saw this one. And probably this is my favorite because I saw, because it's the first Keanu Reeves movie I saw. This will be my second favorite, but these two I really enjoyed. They were great. They were great executed. This will be my least favorite in the Matrix films. I did a review, my thoughts on this film, but I like it. I like the film, but not as much as I love these two movies. These two movies I love to death. Animatrix I liked. I like Animatrix. Animatrix I like a lot. I like a lot this one on Blu-ray. But I'm not an expert. I think there are other people who did a better reviews than me. Carrie Ann Moss, I think her voice is in the kid's story, but I don't remember if she is in it. But her voice is in a detective story. When she jumps off the train, which I like that. But overall, this movie is a really good one. I really like this one, Animatrix. I like the song on the end, the soundtrack, the song on the end. Who Am I, which is Animatrix edit piece of orchestra. I really like that. Also, Pamela Adlon and Kevin Michael Richardson, Thaddeus and Jew, they did a good job. And that's Jew, that's Jew, which did a good job. That was word of record. I don't remember those two scenes, because like I said, this is the first time. It's 1 hour 40 minutes long, and this is the first time I actually even watched this film. I never seen before, but this is the first time I watched it, and I did like it. This is the final flight of Osiris. This was program. This was program. Yeah, the rest two episodes, the second Renaissance part 1 and 2, it shows how the humans became hooked up on this machine. How they actually became hooked up on this machine shows up, which is a prequel. It serves an anthology of animated series, but still a good one. I mean, I really liked it. I thought it was a really good one. The Wachowskis were involved with this one. I really liked it. I did not watch the special features making of each film. Genre Chronicles, Scroll the Screen, the History and Culture, Anime, Director Commentaries for the second Renaissance Parts 1 and 2 program, World Record, Biographical Profiles of Directors and Animation Producers. Mostly was Japanese, but it has language English, page 13. Final Flight, Osiris was page 13, but the rest was not rated. But I really liked Animatrix. I thought was a really good one. I don't know what else to say except the final episode, which actually was matriculated. I kind of fall asleep, but the rest I have really liked it. I mean, I thought Animatrix did a good job, And if you don't have this box, I mean, you really need to have this box, the Ultimate Collection, which you get all 4 of them. You also do get the bonus material. You get the bonus material, the Matrix Experience 2-disc databank. You get 2 discs, and I forgot to show you, because I actually did show more for the first 2 movies, but I think I do have in this little book, that's Animatrix, that's Jew, and that's the sword fight. You can see the sword fight. yeah, Animatrix, 9 short films, Final Flight of the Osiris, Detective, and that's actually the last episode, the Final Flight of the Osiris. So that's Jew. That's the actress. Where the fuck did I put it? Pamela, I think was Pamela Adlon. That's Pamela Adlon. That's Jew. Animations. That's the open. Thaddeus and Jew in the opening. And you have like all the pictures, which I'll show you slow motion. So that's Animatrix, 9 short films, The Matrix. And I didn't know there's a credits on it, but the Final Flight of the Osiris was written by Larry and then the Wachowski brothers. Now they actually go by Lana and Lily Wachowski. Directed was by Andy Jones, which is actually my favorite animation production. Design Square US Inc. And the second Renaissance Part 1, 2 were also, all of them, Part 1, 2 were written by the Wachowski brothers, directed by Mahiro Media. That was actually in studios in Tokyo. So Kid Story was written by the Wachowskis, directed by Shinichiro Watanabe. That was also designed by studios in Tokyo. Program written and directed by Yoshiaki Kuwajiri. Animation, that was the Japanese. Kid Story, the second Renaissance Part 1, 2, and Final Flight of Osiris, those are all for the Wachowskis. Program, I already said, written and directed Yoshiaki Kawajiri. Words record was written by once again by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, but directed by Takeshi Koike. Beyond, written and directed by Koji Morimoto. Animated design, studios in Tokyo. A Detective Story was also written and directed by Shinichiro Watanabe. And Marticulated, written and directed by Peter Chung. Animated production designed by DNS Seoul, while Detective Story was designed by Studio C Tokyo. So yeah, I didn't know that was the credits. Roots. I also have this book, Roots of the Matrix, with Neo. Keanu Reeves' favorite character, Thomas A. Anderson Neo, that's my favorite character he did. Xionar Chief, that's Trinity. But if you don't, you get this book. You actually get this book in the Ultimate Matrix box. And yeah, the Animatrix, a really good series, really good anthology series. And like I said, if you don't have this box, you should really buy it. On Amazon, I actually paid 20 euros for it, but I'm not sorry, because for the money it was worth it, because I'm glad I got it. I'm a huge fan of the Matrix films, especially the first two, and I think I should really got this box, this Ultimate Collection with all 4 with Animatrix. But that's my review on Animatrix 2003. I hope you like it. I'm not an expert, because this is for me the first time watching it. It actually was the first time watching this series. But yeah, see you, and I'm out. Peace, take care, and have a good Sunday, and I'll see you in the next video. Now I'm out. Peace, bye bye.